Good morning, everyone. Morning. Thank you for joining with us in Saturday morning, and welcome to At America, the U.S. Embassy's American Center. And hello, my name is Patricia Elizabeth. I'm one of the e-guide here. Today is the last session of Swift at America. This session titled "Bring Your App Ideas to Life Using Swift." In this session, we're gonna take your design thinking and app prototyping skills to the next level by learning how to use Swift to develop your app. So, without any further ado, I will pass the floor to our facilitator. He is an educator, counselor, and technologist of Creative Think Labs. Give a big applause to Manoharan Kartigazu.
Test. Testing. Hi, everyone. All right, so we are still short on numbers, but I heard people are on the way. But we are quite a bit tight for time, so I will get started, and the rest maybe can follow when they arrive. All right. So let me just share my screen first. Can we lower the light on the stage? Okay. All right. All right, so welcome to the third session. So for those of us who've been joining me for the last two sessions, we had a 1 week break in between, and today is our third session. If you are new, uh, you can actually just join up, maybe someone from this side in the groups, so that you can follow along. And just make sure that you also have signed up to get an iPad, because we will be using the iPad today. All right. So, okay. So, what will we be doing today? All right. So, we have done the prototype. So, one of the things I said is that I will give you time later, near the end of the session, for you to come up and share as a group your prototype that you have done. All right. So you will have your time on the stage later. So this is just to give you some time to finish up some things, clean up some things, because remember what we talked about, you need to do a pitch for the app that you have created. Okay. Think all of us as venture capitalists. We are here. We want to invest in your app. So show us why we should. Okay. So, and then uh, we will do that after the first 60 minutes of this session, where I will take you through the app on the iPad called Playground. Okay. So make sure that app is on your iPad. And then if you want to check, just tap on it and open it and just leave it at that. Okay. After that, we will do the showcase for about 30 minutes. Each group will have 5 minutes, 5 minutes only. If you exceed 5 minutes, we'll get the security to drag you down. Okay. So that's, and then the last part, Swift UI, is what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how do you take whatever prototype that you have made in Keynote and how you can actually create an interface for your app on Playground as well. Okay, so there will be a little bit of coding involved here, manageable, not very difficult. So you will create your own interface, and then you will have time to work on your group to finish this. And then at the end, we will give you some time to showcase what you have completed so far as a group. Okay, it doesn't have to be a finished product. Like I said, okay, we can't code up an app in 3 weeks, 3 sessions, but at least you will have the tools. And then we'll finish off by having a Q&A, and I will share with you all the resources that you need, that I've used, that I found to be the most helpful. Okay, so I've done all the research for you. I'm just going to show you these are the best. This is where you can go and learn more if you want to continue this journey. Okay, so the Padlet has been updated. So I have some new content there, and later you need to go back there to download some resources. Okay, so again, this is the QR code for the Padlet. Okay, so please do. Okay, if you already have the link, if you don't have, here's the link. Make sure take a picture of the link at the bottom, because this will be available even after we finish today's session. Okay, so I will make this continuously available, so that if you do forget and you want a reminder, or if you want to share with someone else this link, please feel free. Okay, if you want to share the resources from here, please go ahead. Okay, nothing is copyrighted here. All right. Okay, everyone managed to get in? All right. Okay, so I've already talked about this. Session 1, we talked about ideation and the importance of how we come up with ideas. All right. We talked about a little bit about design thinking. And then in session 2, we learned how to use Keynote as a tool for prototyping. We learned some best practices of UI and UX. We looked at some examples, and then you worked on your own prototype as a group. I know one group has already posted on the Padlet, and today they posted the revision of it, the update of it. So thank you so much for that. So the rest of us, if you have finished, you can upload it to the Padlet as well. All right. So today we'll continue that journey. Whatever we have done, we will continue. Okay, so do prepare for the showcase. Keep that in mind. We will do it at the last 30 minutes before 12:45. Okay, that will be your first break. Okay, all right. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go through. So please pay attention to the big screen, because everything will be there. All right, and you can follow along. All right. So first thing I want you to do is to go to the Padlet and then download. There is a set of image files called the dice war. Okay, so just download that folder, because it has some images that we will be using. Okay, on the Padlet. Okay, so this is the Padlet. So here, Swift UI. Okay, under Swift UI, dice war images. So you need to download that. Now, whatever I'm going to go through on the screen is also available as a PDF file, the first one. Okay, so you can also download that. If you find it hard to see on the screen, that will be helpful, just in case the equipment on the stage blocks some of the text. You can download that PDF file. Whatever I'm explaining is also available for you. Okay. All right, so that's the Padlet. Okay, so are we ready? Okay, so if you open your Padlet, it will look something like this. Something, yeah. The upper part may be empty because those are all the files that you have opened. Okay, so there may not be anything open at the top. I want you to go right to the bottom right-hand corner, left-hand corner. Do you see that there's two plus signs? One says app, one says playground. So we're going to start with playground. So what is playground? Playground is where you play with code. Let's say you are learning coding for the first time, and you want to try out your code. Let's say you're using a book or you're using some other resources and you want to try your code, practice. Playground is the place where you go to learn, to practice code. You can cut and paste code there to see how it runs. You can also write your own code as you learn. Now, but playground only allows for Swift language. You cannot type Python code there, right? Or JavaScript or CSS or HTML. It doesn't work, okay? It's only for Swift. Now, but I don't want to learn Swift. I want to learn something else. My my take on that is it's okay to start in any language. All right. I know lots of people they start coding in Python. Right. Python is a very popular language. It is used to build a lot of applications. It is especially used in AI. Okay, data science. All right. So if you're learning coding, data science, you most probably will use Python. All right, so it's a good language to learn. I'm not against it. It's a great language, easy language to learn. But if you have an iPad, okay, uh, it is very easy because there's a lot of online thing that you can use for Python. All right, Swift is a fairly easy language to learn, and it has the power of C, okay, C++, Java. All right, they bring all the strength of these languages into one, and that's what was Swift. So if you learn Swift, when you want to learn another language, it's actually quite easy. Either way, from Python to Swift, Swift to Java, it's always the core principles of any language is the same. Just the syntax is different. Just like English, Bahasa Indonesia, Korean, Japanese, any language, they have a grammar, right? The rules, how, and then they add the words. But the principle is you are still communicating the same ideas, right? If you're hungry, how do you say, I'm hungry? You say it differently in different language, but you're communicating the same idea. Likewise, same with programming language. Syntax is different, but the principles are the same. So once you know, then picking up another language is very fast. All right? So the iPad is good in a way because all the resources are there. You don't have to go and you don't need to lug your computer or your laptop. Okay? Even on the phone, uh, you can do this. All right? So tap on that, tap on playground. This is what you will see. This is the user interface. Okay? I just put numbers as reference. Number 1 at the top, it says tap here for code. So if you tap on it, it will disappear. That's where you put any code. All right? That's where you put your code. Number 2 is some settings. Number 3 is where you'll see the result. It's like a notepad, the result of your runtime. When you run the code, there will be a result, right? It will also show you if there are any errors, all right? So here's an example. That's the settings part. The first arrow is run my code. Now, if this is not very clear, you can look at the PDF file that I've sent to you, okay? the PDF file. So you can see it clearly. Okay, it's on the Padlet. You can step through my code. What does that mean? Sometimes you step through your code part by part. Let's say there's a loop, there's a declaration. So you can step through the code step by step to check if 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 the code is running properly. If you're not getting the right results, meaning something is wrong, but you don't know where, right? So run the code step by step. So you can kind of like check for the error. Where is the error? All right. You can enable result. You can step slower, even slowly. And you can also show the console. Okay. So these are some settings that you have. Okay. So let's talk about this. Why do we need to code? Anyone? Why code? Why do I need to learn coding? So you are creating an app. So why do I need to code? Anyone? When I code, what am I doing? Okay, but besides developing an app, right? Let's say the other day I was looking at this video, right, about ChatGPT. So I tried it. I went to ChatGPT and I said, I want to create a game. Can you give me CSS, HTML, and the JavaScript for tic-tac-toe? It provided me all the code. Then I went to CodePen, I copy paste, and I have a tic-tac-toe game within 5 minutes. Wow. So if I can do that, why must I learn to code? Okay? We code because we want functionality. We want to solve something. We need results. We need to process something. That's what coding is, right? It's like going to a coffee machine. There's codes in that machine. When you press Americano, there's a code that runs that tells how much sugar to put or how much coffee to grind, how much water to mix. It does all this automatically, right? That's because coffee machine is unique, right? So you want functionality. So you can make an app have nice interface, but you need functionality. For example, I want a counter to keep track of score. If I win, I get 1 point. If I lose, I get 0. So every time I win, there must be a counter that does a +1 to your original score, so your score can increase. So that's functionality. You must code to have that function. Some functions, like I said, you can copy and paste, right? Most of your time as a coder, you will copy and paste, all right? Sometimes when your app is unique, then you need to code. You need to write the code because this is a new function. It does something that you cannot find. Okay, imagine the first person who coded for ride hailing, like Gojek. Which company came up with this first? Uber. So the engineers at Uber have to write the code from scratch. If then Grab hire someone from from Uber, they already have the code, right? Where? In the brain. So they can code. But if you don't have their code, you also must code from scratch. You see, because codes are protected, right? Copyright. So you cannot copy paste. Okay? Like for example, Google search. That's an algorithm, it's a secret. So if you want to create something like Google search, what must you do? You must write the code from scratch. Okay, so why do we code even though most of the time we copy paste? Because sometimes you must create new functionality. You also need to learn how to code so you can modify codes. I will show you later. When you copy paste, it doesn't mean it will just work. After copy paste, you must know, okay, what do I do next? Right? So that's why you need to learn how to code. So these are some of the reasons. Okay? A very common problem that so this is what we call algorithms, yeah? Algorithm, right? It's a set of commands, right? Where you problem solve certain operations. So formal definition is a finite set of instructions carried out in a specific order to perform a particular task. So sometimes you need to write these algorithms. A lot of algorithms are already available. You don't have to start from scratch. Mathematicians, scientists, data scientists, they've done the work. You just need to know, okay, I'll give you a good example. Sorting is a very common problem, right? Sort according to file size. Sort according to file name. Sorting. Big number to small, small number to big. Very common problem. Do I have to write the code from scratch? No need. There's already, do you know some of the sorting algorithms? Who knows? Do you know any sorting algorithms? Huh? The name of the algorithm. Okay, I'll give you some example. Bubble sort, merge sort, quick sort, right? Yeah, these are algorithm. Do I have to write it from scratch? Just go search, copy, paste, done. But you must know what kind of data do you have. Is it big, medium, large, very large? Different algorithm works differently. If you use the wrong one, it'll be too slow. Okay, sometimes phones will heat up, right? You know why it heats up? Because the code may not be very good from some of the apps. It requires a lot of memory. Okay, and then your phone or your when you run certain programs, your laptop will heat up. It's because of this codes that are not well written. Okay, so this is an algorithm for bubble sort. Now, before you come up with this, you must know what bubble sort is. Okay, so let me show you. Let me, not this one. This one. Okay. So bubble sort is an algorithm to sort things to be in sequence. If I give you an array of numbers, 5, 9, 3, 1, 2, 8, I must sort this. Okay, so the algorithm is this. Compare the last two numbers, and then if the one on the left is bigger than on the right, swap. So this is what it does. Step. Okay. Okay. So it will swap. Okay. Swap. Then it will move to the other side. Then it will compare. Then it will swap. So it will continue doing this. Okay. This is the algorithm. Okay. And then it will store the first number because that's the smallest, right? And then it will start again. And then it will continue again. Okay? And then it will start again. Then it will continue this. This is called bubble sort. This is theory. Okay? I'm showing you through a diagram. Now, What do we do as coders? How to change this into code, right? We know the technique, right? Oh, just compare, 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 then move, swap. Start, swap, compare, swap, swap, swap. This is called bubble sort. For small data set, very easy. Okay? How does the code look like? I showed you here, this one. Okay? Now, some of you may understand what this is, some of you may not. It's okay. So this is the code for bubble sort. Now, what if in my app I need bubble sort? So what do I do? Yes, just copy. So I search. This morning I search and I found one. The first one I found, yeah, this one. That I showed you just now. I found this. So I copy. All right. So let me show you here. So I copied it. No error. That means the code is good, yeah? But how to test whether it will run? Okay? All right. So that's a function, right? So I must call the function. Okay, but call what? There's nothing to call, right? So I need to create a variable, okay, a container. You see, as I'm typing, there's a red circle. What does that mean? Error, the code is not complete. What am I doing here? I'm declaring an array, okay, an array. Array is a contain a group of things, right? So it's not complete. So I'm gonna let's do this. Let's do a small one. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. If let's say I purposely delete this, error, comma missing, right? So what can I do? Okay. See what it says? Hey, hello, Mano, you are missing a comma. Very smart, yeah? It said, you want to fix it? I go, yes, thank you very much. Please fix for me. Done. So when you're coding in this, it's very good because it is teaching you, hey, you missed this. Hey, you want to fix this? Then it'll tell you what is it fixing and why is it wrong. And then you will fix it. Sometimes if it's logic, it cannot figure out the logic for you. So at least you know there's an error. Then you can go back to the settings, go step by step. Okay, run a little bit of code here, see what happens, what's the result. Supposed to show up, this one is not showing on the console. The code here is wrong. Then you can fix it. Okay, so here I've done the variable. So now what do I do? Just call the function. Okay, what's the name of the function? Bubble sort. Okay, very nice. As I'm typing, it's already telling me, hey, you have a function called bubble sort. Sometimes in a program, you may have lots of functions. So when you call the function, when you start typing, it will tell you, hey, which one do you want, Mano? Is it this one? Yeah, the first one. Okay. Hey, you need to fill up inside, right? Okay, just tap enter. And then I'm just going to delete this. And then what's the name of the array that I want to sort? Hey, it recognizes the variable already. Wow, this is very good, man. All right. Make things really fast. Okay, done. No error. That means so far so good, yeah? So now I go here, run my code. Open the console, done. Sorted. See, less than 5 minutes. Copy, the most important skill is copy paste. Right? Copy paste. That means there's a lot of code I can just copy and paste. What is important? Remember lesson one? The idea and the design, the UI, the UX. Those things are very important. Once you get this right, sometimes this is not easy. I'm not saying this is easy, okay? Because a fairly, even a simple app have lots of code, all right? Multiple pages, all right? You know, Microsoft Office, hundreds of millions of lines of code, okay? So it's code, it's a lot of code. But look, it's very easy, right? Copy paste. Now, why, going back to that question, why do I need to learn code? So that you can do things like this. You can copy and paste, but do you know what to do after copy paste? You must be able to read the code. What's the name of the function? Okay, does the function has a parameter, right? What's the parameter? It's an integer. If in that array sort I put any floating numbers, it will not work. There will be an error. So if I want to change the code for floating numbers, what must I do? You must go to the function and then change the integer to double or float. Okay? So you must know these things. If you don't learn how to code, you will not learn. Okay? So that's the important things. So this is just to show you an example, okay, of how you can practice using the playground. All right, let's move on very quickly. Let's go back here. All right. So this is the bubble sort. Okay, so let's stay in playground. Let's play a little bit. Okay, that's the name of it, right? Playground. All right. Now, if you are used to coding, maybe this will seem very basic for you, but you can explore your own thing. Okay, I suggest you can look at some of the app examples on Playground. You can open anything that interests you, like about split anything on. There are lots of examples. So when you open these files, they will also show you the code. So you can look at, you can check out about me. Okay, it's a tab view. So what is the code for tab view? How to create a tab view, right? Again, copy, paste, use it in your own app. Okay. So how many of us never coded here? Raise your hand. Okay, one, that you're new. Okay, so let's go through this, yeah? So whenever you learn any new language, what's the first thing we learn? Variables, all right? So what are variables? Variables are containers. They contain the data that you need to process. You need to give it a name. Because machines are not as smart as you think they are. You must give them very explicit instructions. Okay? They are very good because they don't get tired, right? Like us. This morning when you wake up very tired, right? You capek, yeah? You struggle. But if you set the machine to wake up at 5, it will wake up, no problem. It's not going to say it's tired. Okay? That's the difference. But you must give it very explicit instructions. So we always start with information. And you must put the information in a proper variable container. Okay? Some things are integer. Like what? Maybe your height. Okay? I don't want 165,3. I don't want. I just want my height is 165 centimeters. So I want integer. So I can say height must be integer. All right? How many values? I need maximum 3. Right? three values because nobody is going to be four numbers in height. Okay, so three. So these are things we think about as coders. Name should be string. We call it string. Means it letters. Okay, string character we call it. All right, but usually name can, some people have middle name, first name, last name. Some people have two middle names. So you need to store all this. Now, do I store the names all in one? That's why sometimes when you fill up the form, they say first name, last name. Why? They want to separate the data. They sometimes want to just pull the last name. And usually when they call you, they don't call you by your first name, right? Even you go overseas, always your last name, right? So that's why you separate the data. So the first thing you need to think about is all the data that you need, what kind of data they are, and you must put it in a variable. Okay, so this is how the code looks like. Okay, you can follow me, you can follow that on the screen, you can type that. Okay, so var is a short for variable. So whenever you want to create a new variable, you need to type var. After that, you start with a lower case. Now, in naming convention in coding, we use a particular type of convention. We call it camel casing, right? Camel casing. Start with lowercase my, then the next letter, no space here, you start with the capital letter. What if I want to variable name to be more long? You can say my name is. Is I starts with lowercase or uppercase? Uppercase, yeah. Only the first letter is lowercase. Every other word after that is capital letter, starts and then lowercase. We call this camel casing. Why do we do this? It's an industry standard. Okay? When you name variables, don't give it funny names. Give it names as much as it describes what it is. Okay? Very important. Because other people will work on your code sometimes. Sometimes you are asked to work on somebody else's code. So it's very important to give it good names, all right, and also put notes in there if you want people to understand what is this for. Okay? Now, do you notice the first line I just say var my name is Mano, and then I put it in strings, quotes, yeah? Now, Swift can interpret your data type automatically. It will know that, oh, my name is a string. I don't have to tell it. Okay? I don't have to tell it. But sometimes you do want to tell the machine what is the data type. Okay? In some instances, it becomes important. All right? But I'm not going to go through that. So var new name dot dot space string, meaning I'm saying this is a string variable equals to. If it's integer, you can write var my age dot dot, okay, space int, integer, equals to a number. Don't put a string. Okay? Type and the data must match. If not, error. Okay? And the last function is, I'm calling a pre-built function, okay, which is print function. It will print to the screen. So I say print, hello world, my name is backward slash, I call the variable my name. So if you put it in a bracket and you call the variable, it will print the value of the, so what is the value of my name? My name is Manoharan, so it will print. That's the result. Okay? So why don't you try that? Okay? So in any coding, you need to figure out all your variables, okay? All the data points, what kind of data points, how large these data points are. All this must be declared at the beginning, okay? Uh, there may be data that variable that the data is later calculated, but it doesn't exist as no value. So there's a different way of declaring those. These are very important in Swift, but we're not going to look through that. But when you start learning, you will find all this out. But this one just to get you started, okay? So besides string, integer, what else? What other? Boolean, okay, Boolean. Boolean is true and false. Why do we need true and false? To terminate the runtime, okay? Sometimes programs will hang when it doesn't know where to stop. So you need to give it conditions where a condition will turn from true to false and then it will stop, okay? Like for example, when you are playing a game, right? It will stop only when you say stop. If not, it will say new game. Want to try a new game. So you need a Boolean structure. All right? When you press no, it will uh, it will uh, it will declare as false, and then the loop will stop running, and then the game will end. If not, the game will crash. Okay? So this is how we use Boolean. What else besides Boolean? Class is a different kind of declaration. Yeah, yeah. Float number, double we call it. Yeah, double. Those are uh, numbers that are the decimal points. Yeah. So again, everything you learn in math, we need it in programming. Okay, it's the same. It's the same. Greater than, operators, less than, all this we use in coding. All right, because remember what we are trying to tell the machine to do? Logical things, all right? Calculate, okay? What's the nearest path, okay? What's the fastest way? You are using mathematics, yeah? So mathematics is very important in coding, all right? But you, again, as I said, you don't have to be an expert, but you just need to know how these things work, okay? So these are all the variable types: float, double, boolean, integer, string. Okay. Now, do you see I put 2/? Do you know what is that? That's a command. That means it's not code. Okay. So when you are practicing, when you are typing code, it's always important to put comments. Okay. So you write, what is this function for? Okay. What is this loop for? Okay. Always giving comments. Okay. Now, so a variable means exactly what it means. It can change, all right, because it's variable, all right? It can change. What if there are certain variables that you don't want to change? It's fixed. Then you use the keyword let. Okay, let means that variable cannot be changed. It's a fix. So an example I say there is let accurate pi double equals to 3.14. Now, usually for pi, we use 3.14, right? We simplify it, okay? But I name it accurate pi, so I give it more decimal, all right? So, can I change later and say accurate pi equals to 3.14? You try, there will be an error, okay? You cannot change. So, sometimes certain variables are fixed. So if you know any variables that are fixed, you just use the let, L-E-T. Okay? For those of you who walked in, if this is not very clear, on the Padlet, I already have this as a PDF. You can download it under the column Swift UI. Okay, so you can download this so you have it with you. So you can easily cut and paste the code. Okay. So a constant, okay, we call it a constant. That's what let is. Is basically just a variable whose data cannot be changed. Afterwards, we also say that it's not mutable. Okay, so forward slash is a single line command. All right. Okay, so this I mentioned, Swift may not be able to guess the data type from the context, or we explicitly want another data type, then Swift will choose. Okay, so if you don't want, let's say you say it's equals to 5, but actually this number uh, can also be a double number, but you start with, let's say everyone starts with a token of 5, but the token can also be a decimal number. So Swift will say, oh, 5, it's an integer. But later, when you typecast it as a double, it will throw an error. So even though you declare it to be 5, you say it's a double from the beginning, so that when it later it changes, because if not, Swift will guess for you. If you don't want Swift to guess the data type for you, you explicitly mention it. Okay? Now, I'm going through this very quickly. The notes are with you. This is just for you to try. Okay? Try, type. It runs. You know, when code runs without error, feels good, right? Wow, nice. Okay. So that you know how this works. Okay? I mentioned about operators, right? So addition, subtraction, same lah. Multiplication, of course, we don't have the actual symbol. We use the star symbol for multiplication. For division, we use the forward slash. And then for modulo, we use remainder of a division. We use the percentage sign. Okay? So 4 modulo 2 is, what's the answer? 4 modulo 2, 0. Okay? Because there's no remainder. Okay? What can I use that for? To check whether a number is even or odd, right? Easy way, right? What else can I use it for? Okay, maybe sometimes in cases where you want to stop a program from running, we can also use modulo because you are looking for certain conditions. Okay. Uh, okay, so here's an example. Okay, I declared 3 variables. All of them are double. And then the answer, okay, so I just, yeah, I just do any, yeah, so you can try this, it works, okay? So operators, so all types of math are used in coding. Matrices, you know, in school when you study maths, yeah, they don't tell you what is it being used for. It's used in computer programming, all of them. Matrices, calculus, gaming uses calculus, okay? All this uh, is used in programming, okay? So for different functionalities, okay? So these are operators. So here a bit more examples. Okay, so these are what we call logical operators. What are they? Okay. Uh, in programming, you do lots of comparisons. Which is bigger, equal and less, greater and less. Sometimes we do constant comparisons. Like for example, in the sorting just now, you know, the bubble sort, we have to compare, right? So what must we use? We must use a logical operator, right? If it's greater than, you swap. If it's the same, what do you do? So you must We must use logical operators to write that piece of code. Okay, so these are, and you can create very complex statements from this, okay, because you have and, you have or, okay, and or and or can be nested within all these other conditions. So you can, okay, if x is greater than y but less than z, and y is greater than z, yeah, so you can create very complex nested statements. Okay, so these are, so here's an example. I want to check if you can take the ride. Let's say I buy a ticket. I go to Universal Studios. I buy a ticket. Usually you will give your height and your age, right? So based on that, they can print a ticket telling you what rides you can take and cannot take. If you try to go and take a ride that you cannot take, the ticket won't let you in, because why? I programmed it. So here is an example that says your age or height does not meet the right requirements. It automatically checks. So you go scan, oh, you cannot go in. Hey, why cannot? You are too short, maybe. Some rides you cannot take if you are too heavy, right? So there's regulation. So you can code it so that when you buy the ticket, it already programmed into your ticket, right? You know where you can tap and go in, where you cannot tap and cannot go in. Okay, it's just like a workplace, right? The workplace that I worked last time, there are certain levels cannot go, certain rooms cannot go. So it's all in a cut. So I tap, cannot go in. Certain rooms can. So it's all control, right? How do we do that? Programming. Okay. We call it access. All right. Control flow, which is very important. One of the most useful one is what we call if else. Okay. If else do what? Okay. And again, this can also be nested because you may have many conditions. Sometimes when there are too many conditions, we use switch or case, right? We don't use this because we don't want to keep writing else if, else if, else if, else if, right? We just want to choose condition 1 to condition 10. Usually it's when you make a call to a call center. Tekan 1 untuk this one. Right? If else, switch. Tekan 2 untuk, yeah. So how does that happen? Coding, right? Same. All right, so we use control flow. All right, there are many types of control flow. If else is the first one usually you learn. What else do we have? Come on, programmers. If else and then switch, yeah. For until a condition is met, yeah. What else? While, the while loop. So there are many types of control flow. All right, and we need to know which one to use for what you're trying to do. Okay, so when you learn coding, this is usually the the steps lah, variables. Some parts you can go through very quickly. Control flow, maybe a little bit pushing because it's a bit interesting, and so you learn, yeah. Okay, so this is the flow when you learn any language. Okay, so we'll stop with one last one, which is okay, arrays. What are arrays? It's an ordered collection of values of the same data type. That means if I'm collecting names, I can put it all in the string array. Instead of creating, what's the benefit of this? Is name 1, name 2, name 3. It's a waste of space and programming efficiency. So we use an array. Put all the names in one array. We call it names. Finish. First name, second name, right? And we match. So if I want to call the names, very easy. They are all numbered by, it starts with 0. All right. 0, 1, 2. Okay. So when you have an array, you can always enter things, you can delete things. Okay, so here I have an array called Disney Show, and then I append. The code is Disney Show, append. I had my Marvel, Moon Knight, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then I print, so I get the answer. Okay, so I can add things to the array, I can delete things from the array. Okay, I can read the sequence. Okay, so there's a lot of things I can do with array. It's a very good way of storing data. Okay, so these are dictionaries. Okay, I'll skip this. This is the for in loop. Okay, this is the while loop I mentioned just now. And we will finish off with this, functions. Okay, functions are very important. What are functions? Anyone? I'll give you a clue. Remember the bubble sort code? That's a function. Huh? Okay, so functions are something, functions are basically when you have a list of things to do, like for example, sorting, right? Read all the array and then sort. It's like it's a lot of code, right? If you want to reuse the code, then turn it into a function. Okay? So when you use calculator, when you use when you like when you press certain buttons, you are pressing a function. Okay, so functions are reusable codes so that you don't have to write the code. So if you are sorting here, sorting here, sorting on the other page, no point writing the code 3 times, right? So what do? You take everything, make it into a function, and then you call the function whenever you need it in any part of your code. Like for example, bill function, right? One function. It will take all your orders. Now, orders, when you go to restaurant, how do you order? First you order, then after that, after a while, Mbak, tambah lagi ni, right? Second order. But the name is the same, right? Then, mau dessert enggak? Mau, okay, tambah lagi. So 3 orders. But when I call the function only once, pop, it will call all your 3 orders, add together, make a bill for you and say, this is what you must pay. So it's better to make final bill payment into a function. So you have to think. So before you start coding, you have to prototype. Correct. You have to list down all your variables, your flow. Is the data being repeated? What functions do you need? Planning. Okay, like I said, coding is the very last thing you do. Last thing. What you don't want to do is you start coding and then you realize your logic is wrong, your flow is wrong. Dan parah banget, right? Starting from scratch. That's why, remember, planning is absolutely important. What kind of prototype? Agile prototype. Get it to the user ASAP. Let them try so that you can see what is going wrong. So you can fix it before you release. All right? Release. If your app has 5 functionality, maybe just release 2 first. Don't be over ambitious. All right? Better start small than big. Then when you, so that was, do you guys know this this app called Evernote? Yeah. Yeah, Elephant One. Used to be the #1 app, right? Now bankrupt already. Yeah, because they kept adding functionalities. their code wasn't clean. They refused to write code from scratch. Then competitors caught up, and then finally they just die. Okay, so these are examples of danger of, okay, making too much functions. I usually don't like apps that can do 1001 things. Actually, they become very slow, right? Very difficult to use. You don't even know where to go, what to do. Confusing. After a while, people just want simple things. If a program has 1100 functionalities, how many do you use every day? Yeah, less than 10, 3, 4. What do we do? Transfer money, receive money. Yeah, simple basic thing, right? So what do you need 1001? That's why I stopped using Dana, right? Too many things. It's a good app. I actually know the CFO, all right? So, CTO, right? So, but just a lot of things. So the app becomes slow, cannot load, right? But it's still a very good app, okay? But if they want to challenge Gojek or Grab, yeah. So that's another example. Okay, so let's look at functions. And then, okay, so we use the word func, F-U-N-C. So here's a small, short example. Area of a circle. We know the formula, right? Pi r square. So pi is a constant. So I need to use let. Okay, let pi equals to, okay, double, yeah. So how about radius? Okay, so radius, and then I need the area. I need to declare the area. Now, area is calculated, but I still need to create a variable first, because where am I going to put the answer, right? So you create the variables, then you write the function. What's the formula? Area equals to pi times radius times radius. Is this the only way to write the code? No, there are many ways. Okay, it doesn't matter, all right? But in some cases, the efficiency of the code matters. Okay, so and then I calculate, and then I just print the answer. Area of the circle is, so then I call the function. So every time I just need to call the function, it will calculate. All right. Now, if I change the number at the top, the radius, and then the answer will change. Okay, you can try changing the answer. All right. Now, what if I want the answer to be only 2 decimal places? Okay, then I need to add more code. All right, I don't want answer like that. All right, too many numbers. What if I only want 1 decimal place or 2 decimal place? So there are code that you need to write into the print function, okay, to lower the decimal place. Okay, so how do I do that? I also don't know, and it's okay. In coding, it is okay not to know. So what do? Go search. Whenever you need something, go search. Where do most people in the world go to search? Okay. Uh, okay, they go here. Stack Overflow. Okay. Every programmer knows Stack Overflow. Okay. This window is always open. Whether you are coding Java, Swift, Python, CSS, everything. Okay. Yeah, Stack Overflow. Okay, every developer has a tab open to Stack Overflow. That is true. Okay, just go search or do a general search. Okay, and you'll find the answer. Bubble sort, this morning I search, done, finish. Okay, simple. Just search. Okay, now I think Copilot, ChatGPT, you can also search. Right? Write me a code to, you will write. Okay, then you copy and then you change accordingly. You need to organize it in your app, yeah, file types, functions in all, views in different files. You need to still do that. That's what you do, but this kind of codes you can copy paste. All right, so if you are new to this, I suggest you create an account, log in, sign up, okay, and then start using it. So when you want to do something, these are small things. I also don't remember. Okay, so if I want to know the code, I will just search how to be very specific, you'll get the answer. Then go there and then reduce it to do 2 decimal places. All right, go to playground, test. Okay, boleh. Right, so you can write all your beginning code in playground, then copy paste into your app. Or you can go to playground, check all the different examples, copy all the code into playground, and then organize it and then bring it back. So there are many ways you can go around and play with this. Okay. All right. Let's try something. Okay. Okay. Let me see where we are. Okay. So I'll stop here for a while. Do anyone have any questions? Yes. Yes.
I come a bit late, so I don't
That's
know if
fine. Yeah.
it's already discussed or not. So you said that there are some code that is copyright, right? So how do we know which code that it is safe for us to copy?
Okay. Good question. Okay. She asked, what codes can I copy? Right. Uh, most codes that you can search and find, you can copy. Because codes that you cannot copy, you cannot find. That's how it works, right? Uh, and then also look at the website, okay? Sometimes certain websites will say, yeah, you can copy and use this, but let me know, contact me, right? Uh, API codes that you copy, you must pay for. You can't get access to their data if you don't pay for the API. So just because you copy the API code doesn't mean you can use it, because you need the code, access code. So you must pay for it. So those kind of codes you must pay, right? Most codes like this, like sorting, all this, like for example, Apple has made all those examples, like like a tab view, map view, about translating text to speech. The codes are all there. You can just copy paste and use. There's no copyright, right? Usually they will let you know if you cannot copy or get permission. Most of the courses later I will show you that you take online, they actually allow you to code you cannot protect. It's very difficult. Okay. Now, proprietary codes like Uber's code, Sony's PlayStation codes, these are all protected because, like Google search, okay, they use a particular type of algorithm that is so efficient. That's why they became the de facto search engine. So that code, forget about copying because you don't even have access. You don't even know how it works, right? Yes,
There's a
yeah,
web,
yeah. Go ahead, yeah.
so there's a website called GitHub,
GitHub,
GitHub.com.
yes,
So
yes.
they have a license, like there's so many license, but you know there's one a license like you can copy paste the code, but you can change all the code. What it's like?
Permission level, yes.
Yeah,
What can you
permission
change?
level like that.
Yes. Okay. Thanks for bringing that up. Besides Stack Overflow, the other very popular website is called GitHub. Uh, most of you use Google Drive, right? Where you share, collaborate, right? GitHub is what Google Drive is for the rest of us. That is for programmers. Because sometimes in real life work environment, there's not only one developer, there are many developers, but we are all working on the same project. So we are working on different parts of the code. So when I modify and change certain codes, there will be someone, when I push, they call it pull and push. When I push, there'll be somebody who will check the code and then agree and let the code pass. So it's like Google Drive for coders, all right? So in GitHub, a lot of people publish their codes, and they will tell you the permission. They will say, download, use it as you want, right? So you can download and just use. You can fork it, they call it, right? You can, if you have an account, you copy it into your own library and you can utilize it. Some will say limited usability. You can only copy certain parts. Some will say seek permission. Just let me know. I don't mind using my code, my code, but just let me know. Okay? So, but other than that, when you are starting off, anything that you can search and find is game. You can use it. But there's no point copy and pasting if you do not know what you are copying and pasting. What if you copy paste an inefficient code? You don't even know, right? So this comes through experience, all right? So that's why copy pasting is not always the best option, all right? You can copy to start, but then make sure you understand what you're copying, right? That's why learn coding properly, right? To understand uh, the the mechanics of it. Don't just copy paste. Okay. All right. It's 12:13, so I'm gonna give us 2 minutes, 3 minutes for you to get into your groups, and then we're gonna do the presentation of your prototype. Okay. Remember, you're gonna go up to the stage. There will be spotlight on you, and then you'll be given 5 minutes to share. Okay. Uh, so all of you come up and then decide how you're going to share it. Okay? This is actually the most important part of, okay, this whole 3 sessions is your idea. Okay? So I will give you about a few 2 minutes, 3 minutes for you to get into your group, discuss, clean up anything you need to clean up, and then how many groups do we have here to check? One group here? And then lengkap, yeah? Wow, fantastic. All right. Then 2 of you at the top, is it? One on the way, never mind. So there's 2 of you, group 2, and then up there, what does that mean? You're saying hi to me or hi? Okay. So you guys ready, right? Huh? 2 are absent. Are they coming, not coming? Do you have the file with you? You don't have the file. If she can email, if you can get your friend to email the file, because you guys worked on it together, if you can get the file together, you can still present. Okay, so try that. So that's another group. You have something to share? 2 of you? All right, fantastic. Here, all of you together, right? Okay, so you have your prototype to share? Okay, all right, siap, yeah. Then the last group here, okay? So we'll start with this group, okay? Then we'll go here, here, up there. Then you, because you're waiting for your friend, and you guys will go last if you can get the file. Okay? So you have time about 20 minutes to get access to the file. Okay? All right? So 2 more minutes, guys. Okay? I brought some chocolates. Yeah, some sweet chocolate. So during snack, you'll see some chocolates. So help yourself. Okay? Okay. This is very important. So if any of the group go up and present, I want to request that all of us give our full attention. Okay? Because I'm sure we will also love that. Okay? So let's give the group that has all of you, this is, who have put in so much effort. This is your third week, third Saturday that you are, sacrificing for this. And so let's give them our full support and full attention. All right?
Oke, halo semuanya. Selamat siang. Oke, mungkin kita grup pertama ya yang mau share prototype kita. Pertama-tama nama saya, mungkin perkenalkan lagi nama saya Harry. Saya ditemenin dua teman saya.
Saya Farhan Miasar.
Saya Wilu.
Oke, selama 3 minggu terakhir kita discuss untuk membuat prototype itu sebuah aplikasi kesehatan ya teman-teman ya. Mungkin teman-teman di sini juga udah udah familiar dengan aplikasi kesehatan ya teman-teman. Soalnya udah banyak ya available di App Store atau Google Play. Itu aplikasi kesehatan. Tapi yang membedakan aplikasi kita dengan yang ada di Google Play itu kita itu ada yang namanya untuk monitor mental health ya. Karena mental health itu sangat penting ya teman-teman. Mungkin di Indonesia untuk mental health itu kita kurang aware ya. Jadi kita juga kenapa kita mendapatkan fitur mental health itu kita mau raise awareness ya tentang mental health. Soalnya sama-sama penting dengan physical health ya teman-teman. Nah, backgroundnya itu kita mungkin di tahun 2019 kita seluruh dunia itu mengalami pandemi. Di mana untuk penyembuhan pandemi itu ya teman-teman itu kita harus juga balance mental health kita. Saya juga seorang COVID-19 survivor ya teman-teman ya. Saya tinggal jauh dari orang tua saya tinggal di daerah di Tasikmalaya, saya tinggal di Tangerang ya. Nah, ketika saya terkena COVID-19 saya sendiri, saya harus menyembuhkan diri saya sendiri karena saya udah jauh-jauh ke rumah sakit ternyata ditolak soalnya full semuanya teman-teman. That's why kita juga mungkin hopefully itu ke depan gak ada lagi pandemi ya teman-teman ya. Gitu. Nah untuk presentasi tentang physical health mungkin akan dipresentasikan sama teman saya Mas.
Oke, jadi aku mau kenalin dulu namanya itu Strong Health ya aplikasinya. Jadi ini prototipenya. Kita punya dua main function, ada physical health sama mental health. Di physical health kita punya yang basic-basic aja yang bisa dimonitor dari wearing device yang biasa kalau kita kenal kalau Apple Watch atau watches yang lain gitu kayak blood pressure, oxygen meter, kayak daily activity juga, terus sleep monitor. Terus kita misalkan udah ngemonitor satu nih dari physical health, misalnya kita monitor blood pressure. Nanti kalau misalnya ada yang terlalu tinggi, dia bisa ngerekomendasiin you need to calm down gitu kan. Terus kalau misalnya normal, kita bisa keep going, keep it up gitu kan. Kalau untuk yang kemudian kalau untuk yang mental health-nya kita ada self journaling sama problem journey. Di self journaling kita bisa nge-journal dari teks, voice dan video dan itu semua dilakukan secara anonimus dan di enkripsi gitu ya. Jadi kita nggak ada yang tahu satu sama lain kalau kita mau cerita kan takut kan ya. Kalau kayak kita ngefilter diri kita kalau misalnya kita tahu orang itu jadi kita kayak nggak mau cerita gitu kan. Dan ada problem journey-nya kayak kita mulai dari cerita, terus kita dikasih recommendation gimana cara mengatasinya atau untuk diri kita lebih baik bisa sembuh gitu kan. Dan ada finishing di itunya kalau misalnya masalah kita sudah teratasi gitu. Kemudian untuk app permisinya kita menggunakan GPS, haptic, keyboard, Bluetooth, kamera, mikrofon, speaker, accelerometer, machine learning, cognitive support, sama touchscreen of course. Kemudian apa sih Stronghold itu? Jadi aku mikirin buat Stronghold ini untuk memonitor sekaligus mengcombine kesehatan mental kita. Jadi kayak misalnya kita udah dapat data dari watches gitu kan, udah keluar nih misalnya di aplikasi health kayak yang udah ada. Nah mungkin nanti semisal kalau kita ada apa indikasi-indikasi lain kayak kita stres, kayak kekurangan tidur. Nah, itu dia bisa ngerekomendasiin kayak kita butuh tidur nih, kayak tidur siang gitu kan, dia bisa ngerekomendasiin atau kayak untuk istirahat sejenak gitu. Dan dia bisa ngasih give best practice juga kalau kayaknya kita ada yang known dan unknown issues. Jadi selain itu kita juga bisa memonitor dari activity kita kayak kekurangan tidur atau aktivitas kita sehari-hari kayak bersepeda atau jalan kaki yang semisal lebih gampang ya. Jadi dia bisa monitor itu sih basicnya. Oke, jadi kayak gitu sih backgroundnya yang kita offer.
Jadi intinya itu strong health itu kayak membuat kita aware kalau misalkan physical health and mental health itu actually like in relation. I mean like mental health can affect our physical health and our physical health also can affect our mental health. And so it goes both way. And then also like for the problem journaling, it makes people to learn to solve their own problems, and with that we can like I mean like if we learn to solve our own problems, we can learn from the problems, we can learn to overcome our problems, so we can be a better person. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Finish? Yes, okay. All right. Thank you so much. I really like the idea of the focus to put more importance in the about mental health. Yeah, so I think it's a UN has already declared it as a disease, and you know when United Nations did that is because they want people to recognize that it's actually is harmful, right? It causes suicides. It causes people the inability to be able to be efficient, have a productive life. So I really like the idea about, you know, can we have an app that really focuses on mental health? The new iOS 17 release now also collects data on mood. You can actually do the mood journaling. So that data is automatically collected that you can actually bring it into to your, so journaling you don't have to write anything, it's already built in. So you can use the data to do the prediction, like you know where these people might be in terms of their mental health. All right, thank you. All right, next group. Is it this group here, right? Not ready. Okay, you need a bit more time. Are you guys ready? Not yet also. Who is ready? Okay. If we don't continue, we're gonna have you're gonna have no snack. So, all right. Is the group at the back ready? Okay. All right. I'll give everyone another 5 minutes. Will that be ready? Enough? It's okay if it doesn't have to look complete. Okay. Just whatever that you have, because the time is really short and I understand. Okay, we just want to see the inti lah, like what is your main thing that you're trying to solve. Okay, okay, 5 more minutes. Yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, since we are finalizing our presentation because you want it to look really awesome, all right? So high expectations. So we'll end the session now for the live section, and then we will start our break a little bit early. You just need to be back here. You can continue working. Snacks will be outside. You just need to be back here at 1 o'clock. Okay, can we do that? All right, so I'll see you at 1, and I'll pass the session back to our host today.
Thank you so much, Pa Manu. And thank you so much to all participants who joined with us. Can we give a big round of applause to us? Yay! We're at the end of our session. And also for you who joined this session since the first session, you will get the certificates. And the last, yes, the last, if you want to join our next amazing events here in At America, you can follow our social media. We have on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, AT America. Once again, my name is Patricia Elizabeth. Thank you so much for joining with us, and see you at the next At America events. Bye!